All right, let's try this again. How's everyone going? Good morning, good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We're going to get started with this tactics training here. For some reason, my webcam and mic didn't want to get picked up by OBS this morning, so we had to cut the stream short and then restart it. But we're here now. We are here now. We're going to get started with our tactics training for the morning. All right, our opponent's just giving us a free rook. We will take it. I get my headphones on. Oh, it is a Monday morning indeed. It is a Monday morning indeed. Okay. Checkmate in 1. Checkmate in 2. Maybe a checkmate here. Checkmate here. Oh, no. There we go. This will be the move. Checking. Forking the king and the queen. I can just take this. Here, check. King comes over. We take this, and then we take this. Always looking at those checks first. So I can take the queen, rook takes, and then we take this knight. Check here, block, and then you check here, forcing the king here, and then, or no, yeah, that's checkmate, sorry. Queen here, f3, queen takes g2, and that would be checkmate. Or we win the queen, and checkmate. Either way, getting a checkmate there. Alright, so how's everyone doing? Just getting everything still kind of set up here, make sure everything's flowing here on my end. Alright, it is a new month, so we're gonna be doing some game analysis of Paul Morphy. The whole month of February, we'll look at a game after our puzzles. We'll do a game a day is the plan. Check here. Oh, jeez. Monday morning. Mate on F7. Okay, I know just take the knight. I'm just not sure how I feel about this puzzle. They just kind of, I don't know. I didn't like that puzzle. Didn't feel right. Do we have the queen? I'm just seeing if there's anything else. No, there's no back rank checkmates. We'll just take the queen. With check. If I just move my king, I lose the queen. So we have to take. Alright, so we're taking here, so the knight takes back, and then we pin the knight to the rook. Take here. Forking these pieces. And we're gonna win at least one of them. Although maybe that's not true. Queen check here. Taking our bishop. Oh, but we get the check, and then we could take. Bishop takes f2. I guess that's a possibility as well. Okay. Rook here, we win this piece. Or they could take that way. We're going to take the knight with check. If the king moves, we take this rook. And then our rooks protect each other. Or we take the knight, the rook takes, and then we take this. Queen takes, knight takes, and then a fork. Knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes, check, knight takes, and then we move our rook away. Here we definitely have to be fighting for a draw. Or stalemate. If we get the queen to take here, that would be a stalemate. Of course, I'm never going to take their queen. Never take their queen unless the pawn has to recapture. Then that's a draw. Where to check from is the question. I can check from here, 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 or here. There's four checks. Looking at this one, king just goes here. I just feel like queen h2 is the most forcing move in this position because it forces the king to stay close to the queen. Because otherwise, the king moves away, we can take, if the king goes to any of these other squares, we can just take the queen and then we get a draw. Looks like checkmate after rook e6. Alright, queen takes h1. This is what I'm looking at. I think afterwards we pick up the other rook as well. I don't see anything else for black in this position. Then had to give back a rook, and that's fine. Take this pawn, would check. Then we want to come in this way. Take check, rook here, queen here, rook blocks, checkmate. We take here, rook check. Next they get a queen. So all that is doing is just trading. Well, they lose a pawn in that line. Alright, queen takes here, king over. But then what? What's our move? What is the move here? I take the queen and rook d8 check. Take the pawn first. Now rook takes, rook d8, rook takes d8. Oh, actually, after rook d8, maybe I can just go king h7. Anyways, queen takes f2 check, king h1, rook takes a8, rook d8 check, and then king h7. If the pawn promotes, we take, rook takes, and then bishop d5 check. Yeah, because the problem is there's something controlling this square, whether it's the rook or the queen, or whether that rook has come all the way down here, it still controls the square. So the point is, queen takes, we go here. Now rook takes queen, rook here check, now we just step up. If the rook takes, we have checkmate after the pawn blocks, and then we take. Or if the queen promotes, then we take the queen, the rook takes, and then we have the bishop check here. That seems accurate. Doesn't even make me play it out. That's rude. Okay, knight here. Attacking the queen, threatening discovery, so queen takes. Then rook check. Forces the king back, and then we take the queen. Oh, this is tricky, right? We could take the bishop, but if we take the bishop, knight takes, and then we can't promote our pawn. Because the knight would just take. We need to promote the pawn. Promote the pawn, give up this bishop. Yeah, and then we'll have a queen. Alright, good morning everyone. If you're new to the stream, this is Chess Nerdbird. I've been doing chess since, I don't know, 2007. Although I didn't start playing in tournament chess until 2011. So, my first rating was 1240, non-provisional, and I've been working to improve ever since. I've gotten up to, my peak rating was like 1783, and all these ratings are USCF, United States Chess Federation ratings. Over the board tournaments, classical time controls. My online ratings they vary quite a bit, just depending on kind of day I'm having, how well I'm focusing while I'm playing online. But over the board rating 1740 is my current rating. Trying to get to that elusive and cliche 2000 rating, maybe National Master, which would be a rating of 2200. Which would be like 500, obviously 500 more points than what I have right now, which is a lot. But we'll see. We'll see how everything happens when we can start playing tournament chess over the board after COVID. Like I'm taking here. The king's got to come out this way. So then we come over this way. Try and get back in checkmate. When the king comes this way, we come back here. And then the king can't stop. They can't stop either one of these rooks from checkmating. Yeah, they can just prolong it. So, but that's a little bit about me, about the stream, and what it's here for. It's to just highlight the tactics training that I do every day, for my own improvement, but also for those that are looking to improve. All rating and skill levels are welcome if you're new to chess. If you've been playing chess for a while, only people that may not get anything out of my stream are anyone obviously stronger than me with the rating wise. So 1900, 2000, those players probably won't enjoy the stream as much. But anyone else, everyone's welcome, but they may not get anything out of it. And then after my tactics training, we go through a famous player's game. This month it's all about Morphy, so every stream will have a game about Morphy at the end. Yeah, we stream every Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern time. So welcome to everyone. Make sure you click the follow button if you're new, so you can get alerted when we go live. Saturdays we'll be doing rapid tournaments with a 15-minute game, 5-second increment. So on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time, if you want to play some longer time controls, then that is something to look out for. Oh, I'm just checkmating the king here. Takes because the bishop's pinning. Then we have rook e1 check. Take queen a4 check, and then we win this bishop. Yeah, that looks about right. Thanks for the follow, Chess 101. About rook a4, just trying to deflect the queen. If the queen tries to keep guarding this, then we can take this rook. Queen takes, and now we can take here. That would be backrange checkmate. So this looks good. There's something I'm missing. I don't think so. The only move I see I think if rook f8 check, we just take with the king. Queen check. Yeah, and then we just move back. We want a rook. Okay. Perfect. Okay, we haven't got a single puzzle wrong yet, and we're at 35. So this is a good start for us. knight takes pawn, but rook f1. Because now I don't get the checkmate, because the knight can take here, and then I can't play knight f2 because rook takes f2. I'm guessing then I can just take the rook, nothing captures back, and then I save my rook. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what we have to do here. Knight takes f2. Because if the king backs away, we take the rook. If knight takes f2, bishop takes h8, we have knight h3 check, king h1, queen g1, rook or knight takes, and then we take here. Or we go back knight f2 is checkmate. Although knight here, king backs, oh, king can't go that way. Sorry, if king goes here though. Oh, what happens if after this move though? Yeah, we gotta look at this. Bishop d4 is a move from white. I think that means I can't go knight takes f2. Don't see a way around bishop d4. So maybe the move here is queen takes f2, king h1, now knight e3, attacking the queen and threatening checkmate on g2. The rook can guard against h2, g2 checkmate, but then we take the queen. Yeah, I think that's it. This bishop d4 move was that was hard for me to see. Obviously, I looked at a whole bunch of different things trying to get there. So for the longest time, I had problems. I would say, I mean, I still have a problem with this, but like when I was 1400, 1500, I definitely had a problem with this type of mindset where I was like, okay, I'll take here. I would run through all the things I want to do, and then I would just play the move, and I would miss these moves like bishop d4. So one of the things that I changed with my thought process during games is, okay, what's the best case scenario by playing knight takes f2? Well, best case scenario is they take the rook. I play knight h3. They go king h1, and I get this checkmate. Knight f2 checkmate, smothered mate. Okay. So if after knight takes f2, how does white stop me from getting my perfect setup? From achieving what I want to achieve? Hey, what's up, Jimmy? Welcome to the stream. So yeah. So once I started introducing that idea, into my thought process, that really helped me not lose games. I wouldn't say it helped me win games, but it helped me not lose games. And that's important, because if you can keep yourself from losing games, then you can help yourself win games, if that makes sense. By not losing games, you can win games. I know that sounds convoluted, but it works. So yeah, after knight takes f2, this bishop f d4 move was something I would not have found in the past. And thanks for the follows. Dota Ruin and just gonna go with Liam. Thanks for the follows. So yeah, so queen takes f2. Now at first I dismissed this move because after king h1 I didn't see a follow-up. I was thinking about like queen h4, but then I saw knight f3, and so I kind of dismissed that right away and went into this knight takes f2. But after queen takes f2, there's king h1 and then knight e3. And again, attacking the queen and threatening checkmate. And white can't stop both of those. Yes, our rook's hanging, but we're not worried about the rook if we can get a queen for it, or checkmate. There we go. All right, I need some more water, so I'll be right back. But here's your next puzzle. Absolutely, yeah. Post answers. Post your thoughts. Absolutely. Interact. Feel free to throw in your own suggestions. I'm back. Just let me get my webcam back. Yes, definitely feel free to answer. Because even if you give the right answer, for my own training purposes, I try to visualize your moves and see if they work. So even if you are not saying that you would, but if there was a user that was getting help from an engine, let's say, I don't know why you would want to do that. Someone solving puzzles, but anyway, you can give me the right answers, make yourself feel better, but I would still want to be able to actually see the move. So even if you provide the answer, I still get the training out of it, so it's all good. Yeah, usually puzzles, you should usually check your forcing moves, which are checks, captures, and threats. Or if you see like a pattern, or if you recognize kind of a pattern in the position that you've seen before, then you might want to go down that road. But yeah, checks, captures, threats. You should also do that during your games, not just during puzzles. It's a good habit to look at from both sides, though. So looking for your opponent's checks, captures, and threats. So let's say in this position you wanted to put your queen, I don't know, here. Then you would want to look at all checks, captures, and threats from your opponent, even during a real game. So G takes H5. Okay, that wins a pawn. There might be something more here though. So we can also take the rook. That's also a check. So if we're looking at checks first, this would be the first move that would pop into our heads that we'd want to look at. And because it's checked, it's a more forcing move because black has to do something about it. They can take with the queen, they can take with the bishop, they can take with the knight, they can move their king. But if they move their king, we take the knight. So that leads us to believe that black would have to capture back some way. So there's knight takes f8. Check. And then after black captures back, either way, doesn't really matter in this case. There's queen c2 check. So another forcing move. Check also attacks this rook. So right, queen c2, but you have to take the rook first. If you just play a move like queen c2 first, there's going to be now they wouldn't take here. That wouldn't make sense because then they get double checked and then they get checkmated. Queen c2 first. We can also look at switching up the move order. Yeah, both rooks are under attack, but I think after just here, queen c2, attacking the rook, threatening discovered checks. Yeah, I think the problem with queen c2 first is rook takes b2. After knight takes f8, there's king g8. We can throw the queen in here, but then the king can just take, and we don't have anything. So we end up in the same position, whereas if I take here first, our opponent captures back, and now we can win this whole rook. Right, we take here first. Now we can go here and win, completely win the rook. We were just going to get the exchange in that by going queen c2 first. Okay. So queen e7 check. Very first move we're looking at. The king goes back to the back rank. Oh, it's checkmates. They have to step up. Queen g7. Let's go either f5 or h5. Okay, if they go h5, then g4 is going to be checkmate. So if they go f5, king f5, we don't even have to look at h5 anymore. Queen here, king here. h5 gets g4, and that's checkmate. So queen here, king up. All right, king f5. So now g4. g4. Our opponent has a couple options. They could go f4 or they could go e5. He can capture too, right? Capture what? g4? Can't capture g4 because our queen's here. Remember, our queen's on g7, so our queen guards anything on this file. I think f4, and we have queen h6, almost checkmate here after king takes. Maybe there's rook, check. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. This is how we all get better. This is how we all get better. Solving puzzles that push us out of our comfort zone. Be able to see it through. E7 check. King G6. King takes G7. King F5. G4. King F4. F4. King H6. Okay, I think I see the point here. So king comes here, we go G4. If the king goes to E5, we have knight F3 check, winning the queen one way or the other. Oh, no, we don't. Oh my goodness, no. No, we don't have that, because after king G6, queen takes G7, go F4 and G4, and now king here. This knight check doesn't work because of knight takes F3, and that puts us in check. Oh my god. So then maybe we could come back to E7 with check. Have to go to one of these squares. Oh yeah, I don't think they'd want to go to D4. All right, just trying to visualize this out. We can also cheat with this puzzle, because we're pretty sure if this is the right move, we feel like there's got to be something here, and we can get to this position and then recalculate. As long as we feel like that's the... Because I feel like with the king coming out that far, there's got to be something. I mean, there's an exposed king, there's tons of threats. So let's just get to that position. All right, and let's recalculate from here. We're just going to cheat a little bit this morning. Make it a little bit easier on our Monday morning brains. Well, my Monday morning brain, whatever time it is for all of you who are tuning in. G4 is a move that I'm pretty sure I have to play in this position. I don't see anything else working. And that forces black into two different moves. Okay. King E5. After G4, there's only two moves. There's this square and this square. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's also this square. Never mind. Yeah, there's three moves. That's right. G4. Yeah, what happens after King E6 though? Guessing just go here. The king only has one move then. This one is tricky. G4. Alright, let's take it one at a time. Alright, so King F4. Let's just look at King F4. What are we doing next? I was thinking Queen H6. Okay, I'm threatening the knight, so King takes the pawn. King takes pawn, and then rook check. And if the king goes back to F5, we're going to take the knight. After G4, King F4, Queen H6, King takes, Rook G1. If King H3, trying to keep protecting the rook, then we have Rook G3 check. And that's got to be winning. The queen takes, the pawn takes. And we're going to win the rook, or the knight, because it's pinned and attacked by a pawn. So I don't think King F4 is the move, because there's just too much. Yeah, I think there's just too much after this Queen H6 move. After G4, black could go King E5. Yeah, no, there is a lot. There is a lot to calculate. I mean, my last puzzle was rated 1975, so this one's probably like 2000 something. 2000 and some change. Yeah, I was thinking about pushing the pawn. So yeah, king e5, there's probably f7 is probably good. I mean, the king is going to be forced. I don't know. The king's got a lot of options. Go to. Let's go back. We're not actually threatening to promote because I mean we have two rooks. Two rooks are guarding. Oh wait, you can't go back to f5. Sorry, because g4. So here, 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 and here are the moves. Although, oh, actually, I think the move is after king e5. There's queen g4 and g5. Because our pawn's protecting f5. So we're gonna win the knight. Okay, I think either way we win the knight. g4 if king e5, queen g5. If king f4, then we have queen h6. King takes rook g3. If they try to keep the knight, we have rook g3. Otherwise, we get the knight. So I think that's the point. g4, queen h6, and then rook check. That was the point, to win the knight. That one was tough. So yeah, that one's rated 2007. So good job, Dota Ruin. That was good. If you feel like you're not good at chess and you work through a lot of that puzzle, then you're doing good. But it's struggling through those type of puzzles that will actually really boost your chess quite a bit. Because it forces you to visualize the board, it forces you to visualize pieces, which is what you need to do in a real game. So, very good stuff. Hey, what's up, Cabbage Red? How's it going? Pawn on a7 hanging? Or black? Yeah, it looks like the pawn on a7 is hanging. Hey, Jay. How's it going? Welcome, everyone. Good to hear you're doing good. Doing well, Cabbage. That's good to hear. You're around 1300, Dota? Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's right where I started out. I mean, that's stronger than when I first started playing chess, tournament chess. So, um, you're already ahead of me in that regard. So we're just solving some puzzles. If you're new, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Jay. If you're new, we're just solving puzzles. We do puzzle training every Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern time. And I do Puzzle Rush Survival Mode on chess.com. I used to do just a regular rated tactics, but once you get to the higher level tactics, maybe that's a little much for some of the beginner players. So I do the survival mode on Puzzle Rush, and usually the puzzles start out around 100, and then they go up higher as you start solving more correctly. And so I found like this is actually pretty good for streaming because obviously there's lots of different rating ranges in the chat, and so we get some really easy puzzles which are good just to warm up and get going, and then we get into these tougher ones, which is where we're at right now, which is around the 2000 rating range, but they're still, I feel like, good for even if you're not 2000 rated per se, just because they're still relatively, they're hard, but they're manageable, and so it's just like Puzzle Rush with the time. Just you still get 3 strikes and you're out. There's just no clock. That's the only difference. So the move that I'm looking at here. So if we look at our checks, captures, and threats. So checks. The only check I see is this. Well, I see 2 checks. These are our 2 checks. Queen F3. Obviously, you just take. They can just take, develop a piece, get ready to castle. That's not doing us any good. This is nice. I like this idea. But after pawn takes and bishop takes, I'm not a huge fan of that. But what I am a fan of is a more forcing move. Bishop takes. So we win a pawn. And we're threatening a discovered check. Winning another pawn. So white is pretty much forced to capture us back there. Now I can take again. The queen takes. And we have rook d8. Queen takes. The only issue is that's a lot of material for the queen. Because we're going to be left with this piece. We will have lost all of this. We will have gained this. Our opponent will still have this. So that 2 rooks and a bishop for a queen and 2 pawns, that's a lot. If we're just doing the basic math, the queen's worth 9 points, the rooks are worth 5, the bishop's worth 3, the pawns are worth 1, so that's 9, 10, 11 points for 13. I guess we have, after this, the king's got to move somewhere. Okay, if they go c1, then we've got checkmate. Okay, so that's nice. If they go king e1, then we have check. King's going to move over. And then I'm guessing we can just push our pawn. And that's going to work out for us just fine. The only move that really causes any concern for us, I think, is king to e2. After checking, the king comes up here. I can still push the pawn, but after the knight comes out, I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know. Yeah, it was queen g5. Yeah, queen g5 and they just take. Yeah, they would. I think there's trade queens, right? Or develop a piece. Queen g5 and then they could just develop. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what I'm. This is the move that I'm considering. That's the move I'm considering. Pawn takes, then rook takes. Takes. We pin the queen. I feel like that's the only thing in this position. I mean, the only thing that makes sense. That's just a lot of material. Alright, so this went with developing a piece, and then we take the queen. I don't know why the queen wouldn't take, and then queen takes. I mean, yeah, after king e2, though, I feel like white's position or black's position is probably fine there. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Finish c2. If it takes, you can do the other trades you wanted to do without losing so much, is what I'm thinking. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Cabbage. So queen g5, queen takes g5, then we could go like bishop takes. Pawn takes. Yeah, I think the problem with that line, Cabbage, is after we go queen g5, queen takes g5, bishop takes d3, c takes d3, rook takes d3, and then like king c2, we're just down a piece. So those have two rooks, we have two rooks, but they also have the knight, and we don't have the bishop anymore. So, oh yeah, no worries, Cabbage. Yeah, no, yeah. You already know how I feel. Just throw out your suggestions and yeah, I love to hear them. Different ideas, because sometimes it might just be the move order, right? You might have the right idea, just the wrong move order, which is fine. So that's a just getting better thing. Don't you have checkmate with that pawn in the last puzzle? That I'm not sure about. Hey, useful. I screwed that name up. I apologize, but welcome and thanks for the follow. We're just solving some puzzles. We'll be doing some Morphy games, a Morphy game after the puzzles. I haven't gotten any wrong yet, and so yeah. So hopefully we'll be doing a Morphy game. Yeah, I haven't gotten a single one wrong yet, which is shocking. Usually I've gotten one wrong by now. Yeah, white to play. White's struggling here. They're down a lot of pawns. Black's king is definitely hemmed in though. I'm looking at rook takes, king takes, and then queen d5. Check. Forcing king f8. Because if king h8, then we just go back rank checkmate. So king f8. Alright, Cab says queen f8. Oh, queen f8? I think there's queen b3, right? Just guarding the rook. Yeah, if we go queen f8 right away, I'm thinking there's this queen b3, which guards the rook. And you don't trade all the way down because we're losing this king and pawn endgame. Why is there no one here? I think there should be more. Yeah, usually there are a lot more people and on the morning streams, but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. But that's okay. We'll take whoever we get. Yeah, Queen F8 though is very nice. I didn't even consider that move. So I like that move. That's a good idea. But yeah, the only problem is the black queen can control this diagonal. But if the queen couldn't control that diagonal, like let's say she was over here, then that would be a very good idea. But yeah, I'm looking at this move and then queen d5, which forces king f8. I think here it's just a perpetual because we can't hope to win this. We have to draw this, right? So after queen d5, king f8, now queen d8 check forces king f8 or king f7. I'm sorry, and then we get queen here check. Can't go back to g8 because we get checkmate. If they just go back, we just keep checking. If they step out, then we have, I think, this perpetual. Maybe. Yeah, I think we're just getting a perpetual check here. Oh my goodness, that was wrong. There was something more in that position. It was your guys' idea. I should have gone queen c4. Because and what you all suggested, queen f8, the black had queen b3. So if I've gone queen c4, that attacks the black rook. They can't do anything about it. If they take my rook, I take their rook with back range checkmate. So I'm threatening their rook. The queen can't guard the rook anymore. That's what I should have played. Queen c4 was the move. So your idea, queen f8, the idea behind queen f8 was right. We just had to find queen c4. Queen c4 in that position. Attacks the rook and keeps the queen from guarding the rook. So then black would be forced to to check us around. But eventually we're probably getting rid of the checks. So good job, chat, for the idea. Sorry, I couldn't execute that one for you. All right, so we're getting the rook d1 idea here, forcing king to b2. So if we're looking at our forcing moves first, checks. That's the only check in the position. And very forcing. But what is the follow-up to it? You just have to keep in mind, this rook's hanging, so we gotta figure something out. I like this move a little better. I like rook a5 a little better. Oh wait, do I? No, I do not. This pawn can take. Huh. Don't listen to me. I don't like that move. Okay, I like the idea behind this move though. Force the queen and then checkmate. So this pawn, that pawn's annoying. What if I just took here? What if I en passant? En passanting do anything for us? I don't think so. Maybe though. Maybe, maybe not. No. All right, I think I'm getting too fancy here. So king up, and I don't see a follow up here. Oh, maybe the follow up is queen d2. Start needing to come in here. So rook d1 check, king b2, and now queen d2. Eventually, after hiding behind a pawn, it's a good game, I guess. Oh yeah, and that last puzzle, yeah. Yeah. If white takes the rook, then we have queen c1, king here, and then queen either here or here. Or wait, yeah. That's gotta be queen a1. Okay, so the only thing white has is a check here, but then we hide. The queen can't come back to protect because the rook takes. Yeah, rook d1. All right, just giving away the house. In that position. All right, chat. So here's the idea I have. Over, and then if I could play rook e1, that would be checkmate. So if I could play these two moves, like if this queen wasn't here, I could play bishop a6, king moves, and then rook e1 checkmate. This move looks nice, but after knight e3, that's not very nice. So what about bishop takes? Queen takes. Now bishop here check. I mean, there is rook blocking. And then bishop takes, right? Yeah. And what happens if the rook just moves? Oh, you know what? Maybe it's bishop check first. King over. And then maybe rook e2. Rook e2 if the queen wants to keep guarding this diagonal. Then bishop takes. Then bishop takes. This one, I feel like the move order matters quite a bit. So Johnny's saying bishop a6, king g1, rook e2. Yeah. Yeah, because if I play here, there's just... I don't think there's enough. Then rook e2. And now bishop takes. There we go. All right. All right, 41 puzzles down. Only one wrong so far. I attack the queen first, they're gonna take my rook. So, take their rook first. Take that rook first. And now play here. They could still go here though, right? Yeah, but I can just move out of the way. They're not winning the rook here. The rook takes. We go a little interference tactic there. Oops. Okay. All right. If I take on g6, I'm threatening. Yeah, I'm threatening checkmate. They take anything. So this looks like the most forcing move in the position, because if like bishop takes or something like this, we have check, over, and checkmate. Okay. So here, probably taking back this way. I had to guess. Bishop. They take back this way. Then we take the bishop. The pawn takes, and now we have queen here, check. Pick up the bishop, I think. Or this one. Yeah, I think this is the point. Pawn takes g6. A knight check. If king takes, we go here, picking up the rook. Knight check. King steps up. We take this pawn. Now, what am I doing? If knight here, king here, we go checkmate. Yeah, that's better. Oh wait, that's not checkmate. Knight here, king here. Okay, this isn't checkmate, but we get the same idea. King takes, and then knight here, check. Alright, I'm thinking this queen c1 here. Maybe not. Maybe. I think I want to attack the queen. Check as well. Maybe this move here. Because we're winning that pawn in game because of the pass pawn. Oh, the pass pawn, yeah. All right, so we may not get to the game today, but yep, yeah. While you be tied down trying to stop that, and we can take all the other pawns. Hey, how's it going? Active. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by, checking it out. We just saw puzzles every morning, 5 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. I say every morning. I need to stop saying that because it's not every morning, but Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern time. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we do a chess tournament. Can I play with you? No, I don't play on stream. Yeah, I don't play on stream. But if you want to send me a friend request on chess.com, then we can play that way, off stream. But yeah, not on stream. Not on stream. Or yeah, Saturdays I'll probably play in some of the rapid tournaments on Saturdays, so that would be another place where we could play. All right. So this square forks the king and queen, but the problem is the pawn takes us. Go check. Force the king here. What if I just go back? Oh, I can't move this knight. End. Oh, nerd bird. Come on, buddy. Come on. Can't move pin. Can't move pin pieces. So what do I need to do in this position then? .95 and knight f4. I see knight f5 or knight e5. The queen is forced to move and can no longer pin my knight, my king. Because this knight's going to control this square. So all these squares are going to be controlled. The only piece that black has that can move is the queen. And it can't move here because knight e5 protects that. I see. That makes sense, yep. Oh, if we go there, there's a fork here. If the queen goes here, okay, either way, I'm pretty sure this is going to be it. Oh, queen h8. So I guess we're going knight f4. F4, knight c7. Either way, there's going to be king here. Oh, and then we have f4 check. So then the king just comes here. And then we have knight h5. Okay. Right, and then I'm just nice. Wow. What a puzzle. Okay, black to play. Pretty sure we're just looks simple. Maybe it's too simple here. We just take, knight takes, and then we're just pushing our pawn. It's such high rated, it makes me nervous that this is just too simple. Okay. Do I have to take? I probably have to take, don't I? Yeah, like last puzzle was 2442, so this one's probably close, if not over 2500. So just taking? What is wrong with just taking? Knight takes. Go here. And we get it with check. What if I just push? I still get it with check. Yeah, I feel like I just take and I don't even have to bother with white getting a queen. So I'm Right, so b takes c6, knight takes h3, a6, h2, a2, and then I get the check. He steps up, and then it's queen. Yeah, then I gotta go queen a8, so I can. Queen a8. Okay. That's why it's high rated, because now this doesn't come with check. They're also just a tempo too slow here. Yeah. Okay. Why is that one so high rated? I don't know. I wonder if he would just like start pushing their H pawn instead of taking. That doesn't make sense. Oh boy. Wait, what? Hey, how's it going? Vic? Yeah, his A pawn was yeah, just too slow. That's weird. Yeah, it was 2490. That's weird. How am I just not getting checkmated here? My king only has one move. And then it's just, I mean, that's just checkmate. Um, the other move is the block with the queen. Taking. What if they take here? Double check. I guess I'm just up a lot of pieces. So, yeah, well, you can't go here. So the only other move is this. There's nothing else to calculate with that. And then you have to go here because again, this is going to be. There's really just nothing here to calculate. We just go here and then here, or are they wanting to do this? Check. Oh. Maybe I just need to go here, give one of the pieces back, and then we'll call it good. Yeah, that was weird. That was high rated too. I don't know. Like that one was so forced for black. It wasn't like there just wasn't any other option. There's no other option. All right, gotta say good morning to my kid. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see. Black to move. Going up the board here. Hmm. I was thinking maybe I originally just looked at this real fast, but I don't think this works because that is going way too fast. We both promote, but I don't think that's any good. All right, this one's tricky. Hey, thanks for the follow. um, Here, what's happening here? Oh wait, am I missing something here? This queen check. Pawn moves here. So we come back with check. They come here. We go there. King comes here. And then we go here. All right, so queen here, king here, king down, and now we go here, check. King takes, we have checkmate. Okay, this is it, queen here. Okay, I didn't look at this move though. Maybe here first. Block with the bishop, I come back. Okay, here check, block with the bishop. No, maybe I come here first. Forcing this. And then I can go here. Alright, so queen check here. If king just goes back first. Then we have here. Oh, no. No, I have this move. Okay. Here. Alright, just second their queen. There is a mate. Yes, there was. Rook takes e7. All right, 49. That's my previous record. So maybe we'll beat it. All right, rook takes e2 or e7. Sorry, rook takes e7. is the first move I'm considering in the position. It attacks the queen. The knight on f5 is pinned. Even if the queen takes... Oh wait, there's bishop takes 7. Maybe that doesn't work out the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I have 2 lives, but if I get this one wrong and the next one wrong, then we might have some issues. All right, so that bishop defending is annoying. Maybe it is bishop takes e7, bishop takes e7, bishop takes f5 check, queen takes, and then we can take on e7. So bishop takes e7, bishop takes e7, bishop takes f5 check. We win a piece, is that right? Bishop takes, yeah, we win the piece on f5. Takes e7, bishop takes e7, bishop takes f5. Just wins a piece. This one's so high rated, it's gotta be more than that. I feel like. All right, so bishop takes here, bishop takes here. We didn't look at this line yet. Or I didn't look at this line yet. I don't know what chat's doing. Maybe chat's looking at this already. I feel like this is fine too. I could just take here. The queen takes. Then again, we just take here. Yeah, bishop takes. Because the bishop comes back, then we're taking here. So that's clear. The only question is, do I go for all this nonsense? We still win a piece. It seems like I'm still winning a piece regardless. I take with the rook. Rook takes e7. Bishop takes e7. I would have had 2 pieces for the rook. I would have taken both their knights and their bishop. They would have just got my rook and bishop. With rook takes e7. Okay, yeah, 2 pieces for the rook. That's what I should have done. Okay. No, if bishop takes f5, then knight takes f5. Oh, I see, but then I had the rook on f8. Yeah, no, yeah, I think rook takes e7 was the move. Rook takes f5. Or rook takes e7. I'm pretty sure that was the move. I'll look at it afterwards, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Okay, this one seems pretty simple. I think it's rook b8. I think rook b8 is our move. Although, we get a check out of the way here. Rook b8, they get a check. I just moved down. That's gotta be fine because I'm threatening check and checkmate. It can't be stopped. Rook b8. You don't step over to the b file because there's rook b6 check, forcing the rook exchange. So yeah, rook b8, bishop e4, and then king c1. The only issue I see is now there is this move. Rook takes f6, but that's not really a problem. It stops our checkmate, but we do have knight d7 check, and then we went the actually knight d7, king g7. We have rook e8 check, which is nice because king takes, and then we take with check, and then we pick up the bishop that's on e4. So here, king c1. Ooh, what about rook b6 though? What about rook b6? No, rook e8. Yeah, that just, I mean, they just chase us with the bishop though. Like even if I go rook b8 here, rook b6, and I come back here, they always have this bishop c6. Oh, but I've got this move. Yeah, but then my knight is hanging at the end of that. Rook b8, bishop c4. I wonder if it's rook e8 first, bishop c6, and then rook b8. No, because I still have it just transposes bishop e4 check. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, but I think this is probably fine. If I just go, yeah, we just go rook b8, bishop check, king c1, rook b6. Then I can go rook D8. I think I've seen this puzzle before actually. This looks very familiar. Rook B8, King C1, Rook B6, and Rook D8. And the point is, you can go Rook. You can then go Rook B1 check, but after a couple of checks, I just get away. And then, yeah, and then Black doesn't have anything. Hey, what's up? All right, so we're gonna go with Rook B8, King C1. Rook takes F6. Oh, they're gonna play into the really cool line here. Back. Fork and then fork. Yes, 50. We beat the record. All right. We beat the record. All right. I don't think we're going to get to the Morphy game today. But we beat our record, so I'll take that. All right. Should I go knight E2? Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just knight E2. Go and get checkmated. That'll work. Hey, what's up, Coco Man? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the trophy, man. I appreciate that. Hey, good to hear, Coco, man. I'm glad you're doing good. Glad you're doing good. All right, so we got G2 hanging. I've got knight C2. There's so much going on here. C2. My queen is out of play. And knight C2 is really, really not nice. Knight C2, king F1, and queen D1. That's not nice at all. We can't get checkmated here. What is happening in this position? I really don't know. All right, chat. I'm at a loss here. I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I can't get any of my pieces out. My queen, I don't know what my queen is doing. If I play F3, there's queen takes G2. Just gotta defend. Yeah. Well. That sounds fine. But I don't know how. Yeah, I mean, there's only two moves, right? There's only. Okay, so there's F3 or knight F3. That's the only two moves in this position. Because knight c2 is just checkmate, right? Oh, king f1. Oh, Dota. No, no, not king f1. King f1, you get queen d1. And we're all done. We're all done. So it's either this move or this move. It's the only two moves. Because this is threatened, which is also the same thing. So these are our two moves. That's the only two moves we can consider. All right, so if f3, queen takes g2. I mean, it's still bad. I don't know. Knight f3, knight takes f3, or knight would just take on c2, right? Knight takes c2 check. We can go king f1. Maybe that holds. After knight takes c2, or knight takes a1. We can get our queen back into the game, probably. That's probably fine. Knight f3. I don't know. Knight takes f3. Pawn takes f3. Queen takes f3. We move the rook. So yeah, I don't think that's as good. Knight f3. Knight c2. King f1. That's probably fine. Oh, knight f3 though. Oh wait, knight f3 is not good. Queen takes e4. And we're getting checkmated. And so the only move is f3 then. Okay, so the only move here is f3. What? Oh, I'm not getting checkmated after knight f3. Knight f3, queen takes e4, king f1. If queen e2, there's king g1. No, I'm getting checkmated. Is then queen d1. What? Okay, we're gonna have to go back and look at the ones we got wrong. Okay, so let's see here. We're just gonna click on all of them and then we'll get to them. Okay. I gotta look at this. All right, as we wait for it to load. Hey, thanks for the follow. All right, but we still beat our record. We got the 50. Okay, why is this taking so long? Okay, so this one we got wrong as well. And this was queen c4. Yeah, so we just missed queen c4. Okay, then they would have checked. Okay, so for those that were here earlier, we missed this move. Chat came up with the idea of queen f8. I can't draw arrows in this one though, but queen f8 it was the idea with chat, but the problem I saw was queen b3. So I ended up playing rook takes g8, thinking I had a perpetual. But chat's idea was right with this idea of taking the rook, so queen c4 attacks the rook and stops queen b3. So that was that puzzle. Got that one wrong. Now this was the other one I got wrong. Because I played bishop takes e7 here. But I'm thinking rook takes e7 is the move. Okay, and after bishop takes, we take with check. Queen takes. Bishop takes. And then we're going to win this bishop here. We're going to have 3 pieces for the rook. Okay. Now this last puzzle, I played f3 here. Because knight f3 was getting checkmated. Is it not? Am I missing something? Knight f3. Queen takes. I mean, maybe it's just not f3. But there's got to be. King f1 just gets checkmated. Any other move, knight c2, king here is getting checkmated. Maybe the move is d3. Maybe the move is d3, because knight takes, king here, and king d2. Maybe that's the move here. No, Cabbage, if, yeah, no, the problem is, right, knight f3, queen takes, king over, queen check, king here. The queen drops to d1 again if the knight blocks, the queen takes, and it's checkmate. So f3, knight f3, both of those can't be right. So maybe it is just d3. When knight takes, now we have d2 square. We have the d2 square. We're attacking the knight. So the knight's got to take our rook, and then, I mean, I don't know, from there, we probably need to get our queen back into the game. Well, right, knight c2 is still a fork, but we're not getting checkmated. Yeah, and that's the puzzle there. Because we already took their rook, so all we, at that point, is just trading. And we're up a pawn. And then the knight's going to be trapped, but our queen can get back into the game. Yeah, they can take there, and we're probably going like knight f3 and then getting our rook out, saving that rook, so, okay. Oh, all right, chat. All right, I think I got time to go over the Morphy game pretty quickly. And then it is going to be time for me to get ready for work. So let's jump over to hey, thanks for the follow. Our game analysis. All right, so this month we're going to be looking at Paul Morphy games, which is actually really good because it's all about development. Morphy was a big proponent of all about development. Let me just change the dark mode here so I can see the analysis here. All right, so Paul Morphy had the white pieces in this game, and his father, Alonzo Morphy, had the black pieces. So this is from like Morphy's early years when he was playing against his family. All right, so Morphy played e4. Barr played e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. And then Morphy played the Evans Gambit, which is this b4 move. And so at 12 years old, Morphy already played the Evans Gambit regularly. It is a pawn sacrifice which allows white to gain time to develop his pieces and occupy the center. Oh, Dodo, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Med school is exhausting, I can only imagine, but you're welcome, and look forward to seeing you back on another stream. Which allows white to gain time to develop its pieces and occupy the center, which as which were two of the three aims that Morphy was striving for. Throughout his short career, Morphy played this position many times and with both colors. He also made use of it when giving odds of his queen's knight. It was tried occasionally by Fischer, mostly in simultaneous though, and in more recent times by Kasparov, and it keeps reappearing from time to time at the top level. Fabiano Caruana does not have a good opinion of the opening, because according to him, the Evans Gambit may have a romantic reputation, but modern opening analysis has entirely defanged it. All right, so we take the pawn, c3. Now bishop c5. Okay, so you could also go bishop a5 in this position. Which makes no difference if black just plays bishop b6. But it does give you a little more options for black if after d4 you have a couple more options here. Because your bishop's not getting attacked. So you have some more options as black. But alright, so Morphy's father plays bishop c5. Now here comes Paul Morphy here, just opening up the center. Bishop b6 and then white castles. Alright, so there are no immediate threats. So what has white gotten for his pawn? Well, white has achieved their objective of occupying the center. And a little more freer game. Like this knight's coming out pretty quickly. This bishop has a good place here, or maybe even along this diagonal, aiming at the king. Whereas black's going to play more of a passive move like d6. I guess they're piece out, but there's not really, this bishop's not really doing too much right now. Knight can come out, they can castle. But because black's just a little cramped in the center, it's not going to be as easy to get the pieces out. So yeah, definitely like white's position here. Just in the sense that it's easier to play moves and get all your pieces out very, very quickly. Black still has the king in the center. You're going to have less space, so that's what white has gotten for the pawn. Alright, so Morphy's father goes for this. This move is successful in dislodging the bishop from its active position, pressing against the weak point f7, but at the cost of giving up control of the center. And black runs the risk of the knight remaining out of play, whereas the white bishop will still be active on d3. So, they take away a piece from the center of the board. So this piece used to be fighting for the center, but now all it's doing is just saying, hey, move to another square where you'll still be doing a good thing. Now the more popular move is d6. It helps develop the bishop. It helps control the e5 square. And of course, against this, Morphy played d5. Morphy played knight c3. And then even sometimes he played bishop b2, which are all fine moves there. Okay, so yeah, so knight a5 just doesn't really strike us as a way to really get anything as black here. So bishop d3. All right, so d5. This is already excessively ambitious. Black wants to develop his queenside and castle long, but opening lines when the king is still in the center is something that should be assessed very carefully. Because, yeah, when your king's still in the center and you still have development issues, you don't want to, you don't want to open up the position, typically. So this is why it should be assessed very carefully. All right, so e takes, queen takes. And now here, Paul Morphy plays a great move. So bishop a3, and this is a typical Evans Gambit move. Because what it does is it keeps preventing the king, it prevents the king from castling. Okay, but white could have also played knight c3 or rook e1. Those would have been fine moves as well. All right, bishop e6, trying the castle. But as we'll see, Paul Morphy continues to develop pieces with tempo. Okay, so queen d7. All right, so here there are several tempting moves for white. But if you keep in mind what your opponent wants to do, then it should give you an idea of what white should be doing. Because black just wants the castle. And once black castles, black's position is quite manageable. I mean, they got to get their knight back into the game. They still got to get developed, but their king is safe, so they'll have time to do these other things. Get their pieces developed, get their knight back into the game, and they're still up a pawn. Actually, yeah. The black can maintain their pawn. White's got isolated pawns. So yeah, as soon as that black king gets castled, it's going to be very hard for white to do anything. So which is why Paul Morphy goes with this move, d5. Sacrifices another pawn to force black to spend more time. And now here, when I first saw this position, my move was to play rook e1 check. I mean, it's just such a nice yeah, so this was my idea. Rook e1 after king d8. Then there's bishop e4. And the point is, rook, queen takes, rook takes. The king goes here. Hit him with a check. And it's going to be checkmate. Or if the king steps over this way, let's double check, king here. Or no, yeah, then it's checkmate. Queen takes, rook here, king here. It's checkmate. Okay, so, but instead, Morphy played bishop b5 check, which is good, yeah. This is what Morphy played. Okay, in many of Morphy's games, we clearly see the importance of the time element in chess. In certain positions, being able to play 2 moves running is more valuable than the material it costs. This is in accordance with the explanation of Morphy's style. Morphy's style is based on rapid development of pieces, control of the center, and open lines. Here, Morphy sacrifices the bishop to keep the black king stranded in the center, and does so in ideal circumstances, since he regains the piece straight away. And yeah, and this is like just mate right after all this, right? Rook, yeah, rook takes, king c8, bishop f5, just to show it. Yeah, that's just checkmate. And then if yeah, if the king were to go here, well, that's just checkmate there. Okay, so an improvement upon Morphy. I was happy that I improved upon Morphy's play. That was it was always nice to find a better way to do it. But okay, queen takes b5, rook e1 check. I mean, just look at black's pieces. I mean, they're not doing anything. Look at this. We have open lines right towards the king, all because they didn't castle, because they spent time with this move like knight a5 to try and chase the bishop away. Yeah, this is just all right. Knight e7, and now this move, rook b1. We'll see this scenario many times looking through Morphy's games. It's always nice to activate a piece with a gain of time. In this case, Morphy wants to force the black queen to decentralize. Of course, there's more than one way to win here. We could also just take on e7. That's pretty decisive. You can also take on e7 with the rook. Going here, and now knight e5. If you went somewhere like this, then black has c5 and it gets a little more complicated. So that's why you go knight e5. But okay, rook b1. Queen a6. And now this is over. Rook takes, king f8, queen d5 coming in, threatening checkmate. Stopping the checkmate, but there's another checkmate in the position. So I'll give chat just a few minutes here to see if you can find a checkmate. We just solved a bunch of tactics, so the chat should be ready for this. It is checkmate in 2 moves. Well, I guess I should say there's probably a couple of options here. But yeah, if you find either one, yeah, there's only one mate in 2. There's only one mate in 2. All right, Coco Man. I see you got the first move. Rook takes f7. Okay. Cabbage, rook f7, then rook g7. Close. Rook f7 is definitely the first move. Okay, obviously if king e8, there's queen d7. Checkmate. Okay, we know that's not it. We know the king can't go to e8, so the king goes to g8. And now, double check, that's right, Coco Man. Rook f8 is checked by the queen, checked by the rook, which means black can't take the queen, black can't take the rook, and the king can't take the rook because the bishop guards that rook. That is checkmate. Nice double check there at the end. Finish it off. Look at that piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, not doing anything. Every single piece that Morphy brought into the game had a purpose. And this is why we're studying Paul Morphy's games. Because Paul Morphy knew how to bring pieces out into the game with purpose, use the open lines to attack their opponent's king, and win games. But it wasn't all just tactics. I mean, the control of the center, once you look at this move right here, right, control of the center, just look at this position. There's no tactics here. But from a positional standpoint, white is already doing so well. So you could say Morphy didn't really have a good positional understanding, but he had to, because your attacks don't come from black's position where it's passive. So he understood that you had to control and gain positional advantages. I mean, he may not have fully understood it, but he got it, even if he didn't understand it. So yeah, just a beautiful first game to look at. Yeah, Coco Man. Yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just knight a5. I think just better here is d6. Try and get developed. Control this e5 square. Yeah, I don't think after knight a5, I'm not sure if there's much of anything that black could do here. Well, I mean, maybe instead of d5, right? Instead of d5, maybe just d6 here. Right, Coco Man? Yeah, just like probably just d6. If you want to go with that knight a5 line, just d6 here. And that's probably... I mean, it's probably okay for black, but this you still got this piece out here doing nothing. So if you're going to play d6 anyway, I would just play d6 instead of knight a5, right? I mean, that's my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. Yeah, because if your best move in this position is to play d6, then just play d6 here. And you're not worried about this move. I mean, you just have knight h6 here. It still develops a piece. You're getting ready to castle. Yeah, your knight's on the rim, but you know, you at least developed a piece. And that's gotta be better. Yeah. Yeah, knight h6, developing pieces. But really, I think this is the fatal move here was d5. If you take one thing away from black's position here, not to do, is open up the position when your king's still in the center. You're still a couple moves away from castling, and your pieces just aren't doing anything. So, from black side. That just looks terrible. But alright, guys. That's my stream. I gotta get ready for work. Thank you everyone for tuning in, hanging out. Thanks for all the new follows. Appreciate you all. If you want to consider supporting the stream, get rid of ads, things like that, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Plus you get a little emote. Tips, donations are all welcome as well. Otherwise, feel free to come out, hang out. Subscribing, donations not necessary to hang out on the stream. All rating levels are welcome on the stream. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern time to stream again. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow. Coco Man, thanks. Enjoyed having you in the chat as always. Enjoyed having Cabbage. See you, Cabbage. You have a good rest of your day. Dodo's already gone. But those two have been the main talking ones lately. So, for anyone else out there, enjoyed having you in the stream. Enjoyed all the suggestions and on the puzzles. And we'll see you